Hey, Tej here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for the US indices for the previous week and see what expectations I have for the upcoming week. I'll cover wave analysis with the Elliott wave theory and provide multiple scenarios a price may take and explain why I prefer one count over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Starting here on daily time frame, and again I'll just show you the higher time frame main count since the 2020 lows. I have this labeled as the 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 into wave 1 up here, and then currently we would be looking for wave 2 on this current correction. This is applied to all the indices that I have here, so I'm not going to be showing those anymore. Let's go to 1 hour time frame and check out this current structure here. So overall what we've had is WXY into W, ABC into W, and then we have had a that is not in the right place. We have had another ABC completing this whole correction possibly here. Whether this is an intermediate WXY completing the whole primary wave 2 here or not, we can't be sure of that yet. However, it is again possible that we have completed it, but it is also possible that this is the first leg of a larger wave structure move, which is again a three-way structure overall. So this would be the first leg, second leg and third leg to try to take out these lows and waste time. So that's the overall idea. From these current lows we have few different ideas, and let's take a look. This is the bearish one. Let's go to a 30-minute view or time frame. In this one I've labeled this as a potential A wave, B wave, and then looking for that C wave. Now I don't really like this too much at the very moment, because again this C wave is taking so much longer. There is a WXY count that looks a bit better in my opinion, but we'll look into that next. Here I've labeled this again as we're looking for C wave, so 5-way move. We can have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4 and very extended fifth, at least in time. Not so much in price, but this waste in time is definitely something here. Now to me, I don't think we have finished this whole structure as of yet. If we have, then we would have the wave 4 up here, and wave 5 would be most likely a truncated fifth, in which we would have this last leg as some kind of a diagonal or something. This is definitely very bad looking structure here and does not really contemplate with too much with the Elliott wave structures that I'm known. So this definitely looks like three waves. This structure is three waves, and this here in smaller time frame looks like a diagonal, but again it doesn't take out the previous highs. This wave structure goes back to this possible wave 1 if we are going counting this as a wave 4. So there is a lot of things going on here that just don't really seem to be fitting together on my head. So what am I expecting? I'm still expecting us to possibly not have completed this wave 3 yet, wave 4 yet, and instead take out these current lows and then pivot higher. The other indices are looking a bit different, and they don't have as sideways of a movement in here that we had for the whole week basically. So on those we have some clues that we could have completed this wave 5, but we'll look into those as well. But on SP500 I would expect one more high here. WXY count, similar concept, W, X and Y. Instead here we would have this as an A wave, B wave and C wave. Same exact issue here for the last wave, as we are expecting a 5-way move here. Bullish move, our bullish scenario would be 1, 2, and this whole structure would be a wave 3. We have not reached the 1.618 extension of wave 1 here, pivoted from this wave 2 low. So I'm not really concentrating too much on the bullish scenario, but again I've labeled this as bullish as I can. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and this would be a 3, 4 and 5 of this third of micro, which again started from here, and we would do something like this, and this would be only the third here of this structure here. So there is a few more highs to be taken if we want to be bullish. Of course, when am I going to be looking for longs? Definitely not here. If I'm going to be looking for longs, it is after this 5-way sequence, and then having the price come down in 3 waves, and then only then I would be looking for at least higher time frame longs. Do not take longs on the very tip top. That does not make sense. If you're not in from the bottom, you don't need to be in when the move has already happened, 75% of it at least. So yeah, that's my thoughts. The QQQ, again NASDAQ, exact same structure here, having the primary one at the very top, and then looking for, let's close that, here. In here we would have again three-way move into W, three ways into X, and then I've labeled this a bit differently, this as a W, X and Y, although this does not have the best look and way B is larger than higher time frame structure. If I was to label this here, this low, as a W, then we see that we don't get to the 0.618 here, which is again the minimum that I want to be having for any three-way move. So that's why I'm having this as such. It is getting to one-to-one extension perfectly here on the very lows, and also we get the 1.382 extension of this move here on the very lows. So it has a lot of confluence around here for this to be the pretty much a good looking count. Since then, again, same structure, or same idea overall, whether this is going to be the end of wave 2 here overall, or we're going to be creating the next wave and then looking for more downwards pressure. We'll look into that when the pivot comes. But I have to remind you that that is a very big possibility. On this current structure here, we have two different bear counts again, and then one bullish count. In this one we have A, B and C, one-to-one extension of this A wave for this C wave, giving us the possible pivot point for either a W or A, then B or X, and then looking for higher prices. One-to-one extension would be around $332 on QQQ. This is a bit different looking than other indices, so I feel like this is very good look overall for this one. On QQQ as well, we get to the 38.2 retracement for this structure here, although it is very small in price or in time. It does get to the 38.2 retracement we are looking for in any three-way moves again. Since then, again, we can be labeling this many different ways, but let's take a look at the other options here. The ABC, same issue, we are getting this wave C very long already. I've labeled this again as bearishly as I can, so this would be in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the very end, we have a bit different looking structure than in SP500, in which here we can have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and contracting diagonal here into the fifth, completing this possibly this whole C wave. Since then, we've just had these weird wicks. I can't really tell you that these are impulse wave structures downwards, as there's just nothing really going on here. We are getting lower lows and higher lows as well, which would entail that, okay, this could be bearish, or this could be just some kind of weird triangle thing. But again, RSI is not really supporting that idea though, at least not on every time frame. It is kind of top, that we have a top here and we have a contracting look on the lower trend line here, but it is hard to say. With that in mind, would this be then the 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and this would be the fifth that we would be looking for in the S&P 500? Could be. And this in that case would be 3, 4, wherever this ends, and 5 here. That is also possible. Now on the bullish scenario, again, don't look like I have the 1.618 here. Because we did hit the 1.618 here, we have a possibility of going very much higher in this, again, bullish scenario. I'll label this more bullishly than the other ones, so this would be a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into third, fourth and fifth. At that point again, we would probably looking at it like this, like so, what we were expecting on the other count there. And then we would have this whole structure as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll see if we get any extensions here, if again even this is an impulse wave count. But yeah, we are getting higher readings on RSI here, which would entail again that why are we having RSI peaks at wave 1? That is the only issue I have with these. And I really can't explain that at the moment, at least. This structure is still intact though, in that sense that we have the lows here and we have not taken out those. So it is still possible for this to be a bullish move. Same with this, actually, well, now that I said it, we have broken the structures from here. So to my preference is that this indeed is definitely not an impulse move from the lows, and yeah, I'm definitely preferring the bearish views on all of the market indices, if that is not yet clear. Now the DJI, Dow Jones, same issue or same structure up to the 1. So primary 1 completed up here. Since then we had, this is again the main scenario, WXY ending down here. Very similar structure here for the possible ABC. However, what I don't like about this is that we have two expanding diagonals, which is again in itself already rare structure. So, and we have already another count that would explain the lows here. So we don't really need two overlapping structures in there. So I'll probably just delete that later. The most bearish one of them all here is a possibility for a 1, 2, a 1, 2, 1, 2. If we are going to be taking out this high here of around 33.25k, at that point we are going to have to move this over here. And we can't have this as a wave 1. Instead, we would have to be looking this as an ABC. However, this structure, which would be the B wave, is looking so impulsive that I definitely don't want to be looking at this. So if we are taking out these highs here, then I'm going to be scrapping this whole impulse count. So preference WXY, ending at these lows, whether it's again the first of a three-way move or completed the wave 2 of higher degree, I'm not quite sure of yet. Since the lows, we have the bullish count saying that we have a 1, 2, then 3. This is the, again, we are not even close to 1.618 like we were on the other indices. So this is a bit more bearish overall, which is fine for me. Saying that we have 1, 2, then we have to be looking at this as bullishly as we can for the bull count, saying that we have another 1, 2. The retracement here though is really small. 23.6% of this first move for a wave 2 does not really seem too likely. Then again, we would have this as another 1, 2. Whether it's done here or we are going to be having some kind of three-way structure like so to end this, I'm not quite sure. But again, that would be the case for bullish scenario at least. Bearish case, which is the one I prefer more, is a B and C or a W, X and Y. It could already end down here or up here. We have reached the 0.618 extension of this first leg over here. So that is also a possibility that we end there. We also have the 1.236 extension of this first leg for this wave Y, so another confluence around there. At the moment, let's take a look at 30 minutes. We're looking like RSI is creating some kind of bottoms here. On price, we are getting this contracting look for a possible triangle here. But again, what count would it be probable to combine with? I'm not quite sure. If this is indeed another A, B, and C, maybe this is just the third of this move, and instead we are going to get this as a fourth and fifth, which again would be fine. We wouldn't get any too much higher prices here, or even getting higher prices here on Dow Jones would not break the 1.618, which we don't want to break for the WXY, so I wouldn't mind that at all. But yeah, that is the expectation. Again, I am carefully expecting one more high here as well, although this is possibly already finished. This definitely does not look too good of a five-way structure. We have this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this whole structure would be 5. I have to say it is ugly, really ugly. Then the last one, Russell 2K. Again, very similar as the rest of them, saying that we had the primary one end up in these highs, and since then we've had a WXY count coming down, ABC into W, ABC into X, and then another ABC here. The lows were around the 0.618 again here for the C wave off the A wave. So kind of short, but sometimes they are. Overall, the extension W, X, and Y around the 85.4% for off the W wave for the wave Y here. So yeah, kind of short, but that's sometimes the case. Bearish count would be something like this. I do prefer this, however, it is still possible to have that A, B, and C here as well as with the other indices. I do like this kind of bit better, again, as we have this as a one-to-one extension of this move here. It looks pretty good. The only thing, again, I don't like is how small retracement we would have for this possible B wave. Or actually this would be a WXY instead, just because the retracement is so small. But yeah, it's still possible, I guess, but if we want to be more bearish, I would expect this. And this 5-way move we will look into in the bullish scenario. And here we go. We have this as either ABC or the 1, 2, and 3. 1.618 extension of the first leg here is very close. So if we are going to go past that, then we can consider looking into this more impulsively or more bullishly. Taking out these previous highs definitely has some stop losses above this high and this high, so we could get a spike here, and if the spike is high enough, take out the next high here and get even higher there as well to take out all the stop losses, and then we could possibly end this whole structure. If we want to be looking this more bullishly, I would look this as 1-2, 1-2 structure here, and then this whole structure, whatever it is going to be the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 3rd, 4th, and 5th, because we have the 1-2, 1-2 setup. But yeah, that is pretty much everything I wanted to cover on Russell. I am still expecting overall some highs more before pivoting down again. We'll see and how that is going to turn out in Monday. That is most likely going to be the deciding day for me, how I'm going to be looking into the markets next week. Of course, shorter time frame videos coming up on the weekdays as usual, and more updates on Discord as well. If you made it this far, I would appreciate the likes, and link to my free Discord server in the description below. And for now, I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.